All right, Patrick Rossi. It kind of felt like the Timberwolves were, not to discredit the way that they've been thumping opponents lately, but like a Giannis-less Bucks team and some of these these bad teams. Like last night was a full strength Mavericks team, playoff environment. It kind of felt like it took them an hour to get a feel for the fight, and then they finally came around.
Yeah, they had that nice little run in the fourth quarter to take the lead, and Doncic got the ball over to the right corner for a couple of threes from other guys that basically decided the game. But they fought it. They were competitive as could be. It was a great game. I enjoyed it immensely watching the fourth quarter. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched the fourth quarter, and it was a hell of a game. And Cat was fighting, and they were all battling, and Dallas needed that one bad. They probably needed. Our guy Dave Benz declared it the biggest game of the season so far. I would say that's probably not true, but I think Dallas probably needed it more than the Wolves needed it. The way the Wolves have been coming on to almost catch them. So they come back here now in a couple of days, right? Or do they have to play? They play
Phoenix on Wednesday and then Dallas on Friday here.
Friday here, yeah. It's a 3-game homestand: Phoenix, Dallas, and somebody else good, right? It's
Phoenix. It's Phoenix, Dallas, Boston.
Boston, yeah. Oof.
On the road. That's going to be a really tough one.
On the road. Boston has just been a machine. I always look at the last 10 when I look at the standings. Wolves are 8-2. They're 9-1. They've Tatum and Brown ended up being able to play together after all. Everybody said they kept saying they had to trade one of them because it didn't work, and their Tatum is just unbelievable. So but it was a hell of a game. It was really anyone who watches Wisconsin play Iowa State in basketball and then watches that NBA game and tells me they like college basketball better ought to go to a psychiatrist and have some help because you're a moron.
What do you mean, St. Peter's? St. Peter's, what do you mean?
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Gabe Kalsher, Iowa State.
The psychiatrist would say, sir, you're a moron.
Yeah.
Marcus Carr knocking down threes for Texas?
Yes. I got some Marcus Carr tweets, text from me saying I should have kept him. I'd rather have Peyton Willis. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He could pass. The thought of passing the ball occurs to him occasionally, unlike Marcus Carr. So they getting him out of here was the best thing that happened to him. And they're gone though. So we got 2 Big Ten teams left, 2 out of 16. Michigan, which was supposed to be an absolute chaos, and Juwan Howard should get fired, and he's left. And then they're the best team in the league, Purdue, is left. But it's college basketball. What I've been watching this year and in this tournament is most days it's terrible, and when you get 2 good NBA teams, it's pretty damn great. So that's the main difference.
Just because guys can't shoot, Pat. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And can't really play the game. So here's my question for a guy who was at the Wild's win last night. Did the Wolves get screwed by the officiating as bad as the game story in the Star Tribune portrays?
They felt they did. The Beverly, he wanted to try to get a 3 up, and they grabbed him right away. And whether that grab was a foul or not is up to question, because a tick later he was in the motion, and I think it's a hometown call. If the game's here, they probably give him 3 shots, but it's the NBA, they still reward the whole road. It was not blatant. I didn't think.
I actually didn't even think it was like they showed it. You're talking about the corner 3 after the free throw fiasco.
Yeah,
I actually didn't even think it was. I think he tried to foul him, and I actually didn't think it was a foul. I thought Pat Bev avoided the foul and knocked down a 3 to tie the game.
And that's what the Viking. Oh no, not at the end. I'm not talking that one. I'm talking the one. I think the one that they were really complaining about.
Oh,
on
yeah.
The other side
On the wing, yeah.
He should have 3 free throws, Beverly. But the bad thing about complaining is there's no way he makes 3 free throws.
That's the thing, yeah.
he's a 1 out of 2 or 2 out of 3 guy, so he's going to miss one anyway. So
he was that was a really crafty move when he
Yes.
when he threw the ball. He instead of dribbling and doing his routine, he got the ball and just rifled it off the backboard, off the rim. And he should have. I mean, it should have been an and one if he would have made the layup.
Yes,
the hard
I
way.
hate the they did then they waved off the foul. But when you go back to look to see if you called the foul on Doncic, right? And then you go back, then they appeal, and you go back and you see, well, Doncic didn't really foul him. But if somebody else does,
Right, which
can you
somebody
call it?
which
Can
another
you-
guy did. Yeah.
Yeah, can you call it or not? Or are you just reviewing the call that was made?
I think
have no
so.
idea.
Jim Pete seemed to think that you could say, oh, so
Yes.
it wasn't Doncic, but it was other guy that
But
fouled him.
I heard Jim Pete and Ben's agreeing on this, but I'm not sure they're right
Yeah.
because the other guy didn't
That's
push
true.
him. I'm not sure they're right.
If Bally says it, Pat, it's true. Okay.
Well, that's the funny thing too about some of these March Madness reviews for possession. There was one in one of the games the other day. It was like, I think it was on Sunday, and there was a ball that they were trying to figure out who knocked it out of bounds. But on the replay, you can see the guy who had the ball was just getting clubbed over the side of the face.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
so they're watching this replay, and this guy's just getting
they're
smoked.
ignoring the.
They
they're
can't call
ignoring
it.
the mugging, but they love going over there for 4.5 minutes and God, one per team under 2 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
You can appeal once. Or how about this? If I'm playing defense and there's a tangle and the ball goes out of bounds, I get the ball. The other team has lost possession. I just automatically going to give it to the team that was playing defense.
Yeah.
Let's go. Get this damn thing moving.
And now it's like
So you cannot watch the last 2 minutes of one of these games. You know, a
That's
ball
bad.
could hit a guy in the face and go out of bounds, and somebody will be going, "Hey, let's look at it. Let's look at it." You know.
And now, Pat, we're reviewing plays with hyper zoomed in slow mo that for 70 years in basketball, right? You knock a
just
ball
don't
out of a
see
guy's
it.
hand, it goes out of bounds. But now it's like, well, you knocked it out of his hands, but technically the
not
ball
on
was
tip.
still on his tip.
And
Yeah.
we still don't know. That's the incredible thing. Half the
Yeah, we
time
still
we're
don't.
like, I can't really tell. Whose
No.
fingertip was that?
It's like the first base pickoff when the guy's finger is this far off the bag as he did. They tangent, tow him out, get him off the base.
Yeah.
His hand came off by a centimeter. Let's decide the World Series on whether this guy's hand, when he stole second, came off the plate by a centimeter. I'm thinking the world was a better place when we didn't have replay. You know, just let them screw it up. Yeah.
I don't know.
In some instances, I agree. In some, though, that's the thing is we've taken it to a point now where it gets to be ridiculous.
Yes.
Like looking at every basketball, all the possession is stupid. You can fix if you fix a major glitch. I get that. Of course, if you are the CCHA, you fix that glitch about an hour after a game is done.
Later. 40 minutes later, you
Was
say,
that Don
"Hey,
Lucia? Don Lucia
Yes.
making it?
Don,
Oh,
Don.
Yeah,
And I did a big rant on that yesterday, Phil. But if Bemidji had scored the goal, the initial goal, they wouldn't have done all this nonsense. They wanted Bemidji to win so they could get another team in the tournament. So the only reason they did it was because it was Bemidji. They basically admitted that we can't have a team season end like that was Don's explanation. So in other words, if Bemidji scored and the net was under the net and somebody showed it to them, they wouldn't have done it.
No.
You know, it's
Go back and look at everything. Pat's right.
You cannot officiate
54 World Series. Did Mays really catch that ball?
Who's still alive? Let's get him back on the field.
Yeah,
We
you
got to
cannot
settle this.
Did Mays really catch that?
Yeah, you cannot legislate based on
We come back
who
with-
you want to win, for God's sakes. Of course, the Don could always screw up a one-car parade. So what the hell's new? So anyway,
Amazing. So, all right, the Twins, I know it's gone kind of silent on the trade frontier, but don't you feel like, why stop now? Trade one of your top prospects for Frankie Montas, and
Yeah.
let's go, right?
Yeah, but the market's probably pretty hefty for him, right? I don't know. He seems to be the biggest name out there. You could get the big chubby lefty if you wanted him, probably a little cheaper, Mania, but he might not. He might not make his 30 starts. He's got a tendency to get hurt. So, yeah, you'd like to see him get a starter, but you can also start the season and see if my guy Josh Winder can do it or somebody. He hadn't pitched yet, so I don't know. But,
Really?
You got Ryan. You got I like Bailey over a lot. I think we like Ryan. And Dylan Bundy's going to get a shot. So, I don't know. It depends upon how much they want, I guess. And if you can get Frankie signed once you trade for him, you don't want that to be a rental. If you give up I think they're really reluctant to give up this Austin Martin because he can hit. But,
Would you rather give up? Let's say, hey, you can have 2 years of Montas, but it has to be Martin or Royce Lewis. Do you give up?
I'd give Martin. Yeah, I'd give Martin. Martin can't.
Me too.
Martin can hit it, but he's a DH. He doesn't have a position, and they got one of those in Miranda. Miranda's a guy who can hit and doesn't have a position, so he can.
I would say, pick one of them. Throw Miranda in, pick one of them, and then take a pitcher.
Yeah, I would do it. Plus, Martin's so badly in need of a haircut, he's going to drive me crazy anyway.
Okay.
That's it?
That's what it is.
No, that would be the tiebreaker.
George Steinbrenner. Yeah.
That's the tiebreaker.
You once went swimming with him, and now you're becoming George. You got long hair, you're out.
No.
It's like a Seinfeld.
No, middle of the back. I'm just saying it's a tiebreaker. I'm not saying he's not making the club. I'm just saying, okay, we'll take one of these two guys. I'm giving you the guy with the hair down to the middle of his back because he's got to be screwy. So that's. But I'm not saying he can't make the club because he's got long hair or anything like that. I'm just saying that if you give me my druthers, I'll trade the guy that's got hair down to the middle of his back. If he still does, the last picture I saw.
A guy who came of age in the 60s is going to trade a guy based on hair length. What the hell is going on in this world?
Well, there are a couple of photos out there of me back in the day when it was a little out of control and curly and
the 70s is the greatest one when you were president of the BBWA here or whatever.
Yes. That man.
Greatest hair ever.
The man with that combination sport coat and shirt under it. He was a drinking man, that guy.
Oh.
I tell you that, right?
I got one word. Discotheque.
He looked in the mirror and said, "This looks pretty good." At 10 o'clock at night after 12 Tanquerays. It was pretty good.
Ladies line up. That's right.
Discotheque. John Travolta.
That's true. How about
Saturday Night Fever?
Talbot ain't giving up his job easy, huh? 3-0, 26 saves.
Lit a fire under him, Pat. That's what we do here. We light fires. We challenge people.
Billy brought in 6 guys. What, they have 6 new guys in the lineup, basically?
Well, the defenseman's not here yet, so.
One of the one. What's he?
The winger was here, though.
He's supposed to be a tough guy, Middleton.
Yes. Okay. Big tough guy. Block shots and fights.
Okay.
Basically ends people's careers in the crease, which is where you want to.
It is. You told me this yesterday. It's amazing that the general manager and Fleury played together.
09.
Yeah. Marc Andre's been around here a long time.
And he looks he looks fairly young.
Yeah.
He's got the good jet black hair.
He's on the TB12 program. Yeah.
Great looking dude.
Oh, he's going till 45?
I think so. I mean, look at him.
Gordie Howe?
He looks great. I've seen some great photos recently. There was a picture of Tom Brady and Ronaldo standing next to each other like a week and a half ago. Mm-hmm. And Ronaldo's like 37 or 38, and Brady's like 44. And then somebody took that picture and put it next to some of the athletes from like Royce's day, like the
George Blanda.
Yeah, George Blanda at the same age. Looks like he's 90.
Well,
Peters, baby.
George was considered a phenomenon that he kicked until he was 45 or something. But all he did the last 5-6 years was he was the backup quarterback for a long time, but then he became the kicker, and he was still kicking it. Wow, he's still kicking at 45, man. What a wonder man he is. He brought up Judd brought up Gordie Howe the other day when we were talking, who played until 52 or something, but the last 5 years he never got 12 feet away from the blue line. he'd go down here. And then once in a while, if there was a breakaway, he'd lumber down there and try to get in on it, with his sons. But that was, I remember writing a column out there back in the day before Twitter saying, "Give it up, Gordy." Following his movements at Met Center and saying, "Give it up. That's enough."
By the way, the Twins just made the Carlos Correa thing official on social media. So give us your latest. Let's just take the Twins, Timberwolves, Wild, Vikings, those 4 teams. Give us your power rankings in terms of how close they are to winning a championship right now.
Well, because the league is a crapshoot, the Wild, obviously, without getting a new goalie, I would have said that, without getting the new teams, just because it's you can finish 7th in your conference and make it the finals, But obviously them. But I also like them as a team right now better than everybody else. 2 would be the Vikings, just because, again, nobody else is close. No, I mean, there's the Wild and then everybody else. Okay, I would just say the Vikings because
they brought Sean Mannion back now. Now they're really iron
again.
Because you don't like the Twins or Wolves enough.
No. Well, the Wolves can't win the NBA because the
Correct.
standards are so high. The standards are to me, best teams in town right now: Wild, Timberwolves, Vikings, Twins. Still, but the Twins and the Vikings are side by side, I think, right now. But if they get another pitcher, everybody's healthy, and Rocco will actually play them. Then
no, we need rest, Pat.
When is the last time we've been this good in town? that we had hope for everybody
and made moves. Carlos Correa is a Twin.
Yes,
I mean 2017 into 18. When the Vikings were going to the NFC Championship game, the Twins were popping up.
Well, they popped up in 17, and then they had the worst season they've ever had in 18. Right?
And then the Timberwolves went to the playoffs as much
when
as
was the worst season they've ever had? 16 was the worst.
16.
Ever had. 18 they were bad again, but but we're this is now the people are just. I mean, Fleury said no. I want to go to Minnesota.
We're making moves,
I don't
Pat.
want to go to Pittsburgh or Washington. I want to go to Minnesota. Correa said, yes, send me to Minnesota. I want to go to Minnesota.
Yeah, send me to Minnesota with all that money for a 1-year contract.
It's we're a coveted place. Kirk wanted to come home.
Yeah,
Kirk wanted to stay home.
Mannion wanted to stay home. Bring a title.
Right.
Bring a title. By the way, the thing about that Carlos Correa contract is the only way that year 2 and year 3 get paid out is if the Twins are getting fleeced by an injured and subpar player, right?
Yes, we want want a great player who then hits the market. That's what you want.
A 1-year mercenary.
Yes, that's fine. Jack Morris.
Yep.
Jack Morris of the
That's the same thing, yeah.
Yep.
And the Stanley Cup's going to be paraded down 94, Patrick, and it'll be a great spring for
all you have
us all.
to do is see where the teams stand in town, though, is read comments on the Twins. Well, it's only for a 1 year. People, instead of celebrating the most shocking signing in franchise history, well, it's only for 1 year. Yeah, okay, good.
Who cares? Yeah, you're not losing anything. It's just money.
Yes.
It's not like you traded Royce Lewis for him. You signed him.
Yes. It's easy.
But
He was
can he
free, 66th draft choice, which they would have screwed up anyway. So,
Yeah.
You know what offends me though, but these guys, they hit 307 home runs, and they not only signed Donaldson, but their number 1 draft choice is at Sabato. What the hell do you want a big positionless lunk who's not as good an athlete as Miguel Sano? Why would you do that?
I feel like they have a lot of big positionless lunks. Brent Rooker.
What about another one?
What about Kiki Cucaracho, Pat? What about Kiki?
Kiki Kuka, whatever his name is. Kuka Kaka Koka.
You guys are missing the point. the National League now has the DH. Do you know the value of some when you take him to market? You got the Padres, the Dodgers, the bidding that's going to be going on from those
I don't know if
teams.
he got the 200 last year or not, but he was trying.
I saw it at bat on Saturday. Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
You got no chance. Just a big lug without a position. And what are you doing? What are you doing? You guys are supposed to be smart. What the hell's wrong with you?
Sounds like a description of me in life.
All right, Pat. We'll
All
talk to
right.
you tomorrow, sir.
See you, Royce.
If we got Zadarius Smith by this time tomorrow, man alive, this town will be on fire.
Yeah, it's suspiciously quiet right now. So we'll
That game he played against the Vikings against the Vikings here, that season opener. Well, it was 5 sacks, something like that.
Yeah,
he's a monster if he's healthy.
ridiculous. Yep.
All right. See you.
All right, that's Patrick Royce. Rapping with Royce on the SKOR North YouTube channel. Mackie and Judd.